I remember the night I picked out my musical instrument. I was in the 3rd grade. My parents, my older brothers, and I, we went to the local elementary school gym to listen to the music salesman talk about the benefits of your child playing a musical instrument. Ever since the airplane touched down in the US, my mother leaned over and said, "We sacrificed everything so you 3 can get an education." No pressure. My parents only made it to the 3rd and 6th grade, so they didn't know about the US education system, but they had heard of Harvard and Yale. So the years picked up when the music salesman said, having your child playing a musical instrument can help them get into Harvard and Yale. My mother leaned over and said loud enough for us to hear, "Oh, Harvard and Yale. That is in line with our child and our goals. Where do we sign up?" My parents were blue-collar working people. My father smelt of burnt leather, and he was still dusty from the boatyard where he worked. My mother was yawning. It was only 7 p.m. She had to get up at 4 to do the laundry, to make and pack lunch for her family before she headed out for a 10-hour shift at a local clothing manufacturing company in Portland. I was 10 years old. I was oblivious to all this. All I knew was, ever since I heard Chuck Mangione play Give It All You Got at the 1980 Winter Olympics, the trumpet was for me. I fell in love with the trumpet. For a week, I walked around the house playing air trumpet. The music salesman finished his pitch and gave everyone a packet full of pamphlets and a sign-up sheet. That night, my family, we had a meeting. This was a big deal. My father and mother sat in their seats next to the wood stove, and my brothers sat on the couch, and I sat on the floor. My father turned to me and asked me which instrument I wanted to play. This had never happened before. My father never asked me for my opinion. This was my chance to be Chuck Mangione. He was still popular, and his music was on the radio and in every dentist's office across the country. If I played the trumpet and I played in the Olympics, I would achieve the dream of every immigrant parent: a Harvard Olympian. What self-respecting immigrant parent would deny their child this dream, let alone an Asian immigrant parent? I sat up straight and I said, "Trumpet." I just let that hang in the air. I said, "Dad, I want to play the trumpet." No hesitation, done. My father looked at the sign-up sheet, and my oldest brother interpreted that it would cost $30 a month. A little steep, but worth paying if your son could be the next Chuck Mangione. My father looked at the prices of the other instruments, and he picked the most reasonable and affordable one: the flute. My father said, "You'll have to play the flute. I don't think your little lungs can take playing the trumpet." Little lungs? Too hard? I'm an Asian immigrant living in Maine, and you want me to play the flute? Haven't I suffered long enough? My dreams of being Chuck Mangione were dashed, and I envisioned all the kids ridiculing me at school. They all thought I was Chinese, and now they'll think I'm girly and Chinese. I pictured all the bullying and teasing I would get, and I started to cry. My mother, she hugged me. My oldest brother said, maybe we can pick something else. My parents and older brother went into the kitchen, and I sat there dumbfounded in the living room. My middle brother, he held my hand. A few minutes later, they all came back, and my father said, "Son, we can't afford to pay for the trumpet, but maybe you can play the clarinet." I was 10 years old. I just wanted to be cool. But I realized my family loved me, and they did the best they could with what they had. So for the next 3 years, I sat in the first row in band, wearing a blue blazer and a white turtleneck, flanked by pubescent girls, squeaking and squawking my way through Green Sleeves and Heartlight by Neil Diamond. What could be better than that? Thank you.